guys and girls and others, and both and neither. Today we are doing Boards of Canada's album, Music Has the Right to Children. This is episode 33. What? The big 3-3, bro. Everyone told us we wouldn't make it this far. Everyone was like, bro,
look where we are
we'll
now.
Never make it to 33. And look at us now.
Aaron and Azrael and Aaron.
Yep, that's us.
Bards of Canada by
Boards of
Music
Canada.
Has the Bard.
Something like that.
Music's bored to children. Music gets boring to children. Music Has the Right to Children, Boards of Canada. I'm going to guess for you, right? We'll do some little introduction score guesses.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to guess for you. 19.
19, he says. I guess for you, -5. Why'd you suddenly stop laughing?
Okay. First time hearing it. When was the first time you heard Music Has the Right to Children?
First time I heard it was actually a little bit ago when Parker, coworker at UPS, first recommended it to me, but I didn't finish more than the first song because I was driving and I'm not really in the mood for this. I do that all the time. It's not like necessarily that big of a deal. And I never listened to it since until 2 days ago.
I heard it about 2 weeks ago.
Proud of you. Really, I honestly.
Because we had to do it. Upon further research, I found out that this album is actually kind of big.
Kinda, yeah. It's like it's like one of those.
Yeah.
Parker was saying that it's kind of like he didn't send it to me because it's like his favorite album. It's like a must listen to for dipping your toes into electronic music.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, well, I guess we'll get into who they are.
Get into it, fool.
Boards of Canada are a Scottish electronic music duo consisting of brothers Michael Sanderson and Marcus Oyne.
Yep, I can see that because you literally said it verbatim from the first sentence of Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, dang, Aaron does good notes. You just copy and paste Wikipedia.
Well, how else are you supposed to say who they are and where they're from? I mean, there's one way to say that, really. So, it's not all verbatim, just those kinds of things. But Marcus Oyne.
That's a weird name, but Scottish people
Did you
like that.
see?
Yeah, I read it. I wouldn't know how to pronounce that.
Anyways, they started as a group in 1986 before becoming a duo in the 90s. They received recognition in 1998 for this album that we're doing. They later had 3 critically acclaimed albums in the 2000s, but have been pretty clandestine ever since. They rarely appear live. Their last live show was in 2001.
What?
So, their sound revolves around old synths and samples, as well as more analog equipment.
Are you going to get
with
into
a hip hop beat styling?
The specific samples that were prevalent? The source of the specific samples in this album?
No, I mean, there's nothing really.
Well, Parker told me where they came from. Parker said almost all the samples in this album are from Sesame Street.
Yeah, I did read something about that.
That's interesting, yeah? Sesame Street as your source?
Cool
stuff, huh?
Yeah. Turning Sesame Street into sort of a analog, vintage hip-hop styling.
Interesting choice. Creative.
Critics describe the sound as relating to nostalgia, science, environmental concern, and esoteric subject matter.
A lot of it creeps me out.
Yeah, we'll get into that. It is a weird... But Sanderson was born June 1st, 1970. Marcus Oyne was born July 21st, 1971. They were brought up...
Dang, old boomers, bro.
Yeah, they were brought up in Cullen Moray, the northeast, which is by the northeast coast of Scotland. Interestingly, they lived in Calgary, Canada from
Is that where you lived?
1979. Yeah, from
That was your
1979
Oh my
to
god.
1980.
We're doing Canadian music.
Yeah. From
You know what we
1979
think
to
about that.
1980, so they didn't live there that long. But they were there in Calgary for a year because their father took part in the construction of the Saddle Dome, which is a landmark.
What is it?
It's a landmark building in Calgary, and it was the home of the NHL team.
What is it?
It's an arena. It's a
Okay.
recreational,
Okay,
multi-access recreational arena or whatever.
What? That's a big word.
Home of the Calgary Flames.
What? Not the Calgary Flames.
The Calgary Flames.
That's crazy.
Crazy. They later attended University of Edinburgh, where Michael studied music and Marcus studied artificial intelligence, but Marcus dropped out. Nobody knew they were brothers until 2005.
What?
Yeah, because they have different
Dang,
last names. So
wait.
they
why
were born
they-
with different, or they were born with the same surname, but their names kind of changed. Well, one of them's did. I don't know why, but their name, Boards of Canada, comes from the National Film Board of Canada, which is the government agency who makes award-winning documentaries and animations. Documentaries and animations. Their first mixtapes and albums were only heard by friends and family and are mostly lost, but you can find some of it on YouTube.
That's cool. That's always cool.
I particularly like some of the stuff from Catalog 3, which was their, I think, first project. With a much more ancient electronic feel.
Did you say ancient?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Just feels ancient. Feels like they dug it
Electronic
out of
music?
they dug it out of like a treasure chest buried in like the ocean or some shit.
I've never heard of electronic music sounding ancient.
That's what's weird, yeah. Their fourth album was announced. This is interesting. Their fourth album was announced during an internet scavenger hunt / reality game on Record Store Day. Do you know what Record Store Day is?
Mm-mm.
It's just a cultural holiday celebrating independent record stores on Saturday in mid-April generally.
That's like a real thing?
Yeah.
We do that in Utah or in America?
Yeah.
Huh. And what's the celebration aspect of it?
They just celebrate independent record store owners and music, and because it's not a very corporate business, so they just celebrate. I mean, you ever been to like Randy's downtown?
I haven't been to any of those. I haven't even been to Ranch, bro, and that's like the one.
Yeah, so it's just a day for people to find obscure music and go and dig
Thanking
through.
them for their service, for their brave sacrifice and heroism.
Yeah, so on Record Store Day in 2013, a vinyl record containing a short clip of music which was believed to be their work, Boards of Canada's work, surfaced at a New York record store. The label was that...
It's a fun way to do it. Just like throw it out there. Like,
No.
Oh.
Just a short segment, a short clip of their music. The label that the duo was on, Warp Records, then vouched for the album being authentic, saying, yep, this is Boards of Canada. The title was a series of dashes and slashes, and kind of in the middle, it was like dash, 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 slash, dash, 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 slash, x, 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 6 X's, slash, dash, 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 dash. So
what the
there were
heck?
6 X's, uppercase X's, acting as a placeholder of sorts. These X's were indicative of 6 unique numbers. Through scouring the media and the internet, one could find the password to the numbers, the password for, which were the 6 numbers, to a cryptic website. And upon entering the correct password, which were the 6 numbers, after doing the scavenger hunt, a video was shown announcing their new album, Tomorrow's Harvest.
Why the heck?
I don't know.
What would have been really cool is if they just threw out like the new album, just put it in like a used record store bin and just like let it happen, you know?
Yeah.
It's like people would have been like, what is this? Where did this come from? You know? That's what I thought you were getting at. That would have been fascinating.
No, they had this whole scavenger hunt thing, so that was kind of crazy to read, but
yeah, that is really fun.
the duo has 4 studio albums, 6 EPs, 8 unreleased albums, and a handful of mixtapes and cassette tapes, so it's kind of their work.
So not mega prolific, but they're out there. They weren't like a one and done type band.
Yeah. So the album itself, Music Has the Right to Children, was recorded from 1995 to 1997 And
Okay, for 95, this was not. I don't know the evolution of electronic music, but is that ahead of its time to sound like this in the mid 90s?
in a way, I feel like it was very analog in a time where things weren't really being
What do you mean?
like it was
analog?
like
It was
there was an
sample, like
attempt to
real
be like
samples and stuff?
nostalgic and ancient sounding, you know.
I don't get. I think. Are you sure ancient is the right word? Because when I think
I'm
ancient,
just
I think like Egypt and
yeah,
Greece.
it sounds old.
Old would be like the 50s.
I mean that actually is old, but I'm just saying it sounds old. Like it sounds vintage.
Oh, vintage and ancient are very different for me.
Well, the first album, Catalog 3,
Really sounds
I will
ancient?
stick to
Okay.
saying ancient.
That's
But
crazy. Is that like
um,
harps in it or something, or like freaking
no,
the
it's just the
lyre or whatever?
production style. Really.
They produced it like the ancient Egyptians did. I would know.
Yeah. It was recorded from 95 to 97 in Pentland Hills, which is southwest of Edinburgh, and it was released on 4/20 of 1998.
On purpose.
I don't know.
Sick.
It was the debut album of the band, or of the duo. Genre is sort of classified as electronic, ambient, IDM,
I didn't even know what
down
that
tempo,
was.
trip hop, and psychedelia. Huh?
I didn't even know what IDM was before I looked into it. It's just like
Flume's mixtape is classified as
not
IDM.
danceable electronic music, pretty much.
Well, it's
What does
supposed to be
it
like
stand
more
for?
a little intelligent dance music. It's supposed to be like more
Ain't no one
sophisticated.
dancing to this, bro. It would be literally impossible.
That's I think what it's going for is like it's more niche and
It's like electronic.
It's supposed to be a little more
I
sophisticated.
think they should have dropped the D then and have it be like electronic music.
Intelligent electronic music.
Or something. Yeah. Because there ain't
Uh,
nothing. There's not a single song in here that you could dance to. Flume is danceable.
There kind of is.
Yeah.
Flume's mixtape though, that's IDM.
Could you dance to that?
I fucking dance to that shit all the time.
That's what's up.
It was number 4 on Rate Your Music for 1998. I don't know why I said 1998. 1998 behind Aquemini.
Yo.
Aquemini was, I think, number
go.
2. And is 149th overall on Rate Your Music. Reviews range from orange to red. So the album has been said to be a great influence on electronic music. It was often included in media's best albums of all time and best albums of the 90s. I'm just saying what I read.
That?
I'm just saying what I read.
Can you repeat that one more time out of your voice?
The album has been said to be a great influence to electronic music.
Probably true.
And is often included in media's best albums of all time and best albums of the 90s.
Huh.
The album was entirely done by the duo, including production, and was mainly just done by using samplers, intentionally detuned synths,
Yeah.
drum
that makes sense.
machines, and a reel-to-reel tape recorder.
What does that mean?
That's just how they recorded it.
What is real to real though, as opposed to real to fake?
No, like a tape reel, REEL.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was
As
so
opposed to real to
stupid.
fake. A reel-to-reel tape recorder. So I was looking how they work, and basically you hit play and it starts spinning in like a big old loop, and
Yeah, okay.
it just writes onto the reel. There's like 2 wheels that turn. I can't remember exactly, but I don't know how it actually scientifically,
Logistics.
physically works. But I mean, I kind of do, but
Tell me.
no, it's
The nitty-gritty
boring.
in detail.
It's boring.
Sorry to all the reel-to-reel lovers out there, but we ain't
Hey, some
talking
people
about it.
really do like recording. There's a certain style to like, or certain like sound by recording on tape. So
Could you discern
it's a
it?
production style for sure, huh?
Could you discern it?
I mean, it definitely. That's what I mean. It sounds more like vintage and shit. Like,
Right,
definitely
okay.
wasn't recorded with modern equipment and shit.
Yeah.
The band said that making dance music was not necessarily a priority for them. They did not really like contemporary electronic music,
Okay. Huh.
so they were kind of
Interesting
trying
for
to do something
electronic band to
different.
just not be into their own genre.
Like Daft Punk, how they started as a punk band and then they were like, "Fuck
That
this."
is crazy. Is any of that punk era stuff like out there?
I don't know. I haven't looked, but it'd be interesting
That
to.
would be interesting, huh?
The album contains cryptic messages that listeners may not understand. may or may not understand.
You're not smart enough to understand my music.
Well, the messages were meaningful to the artists themselves. The album title is supposed to refer to the intention of affecting an audience using sound, and during each song, I talk about some songs as the title being very specific to like, oh, this is a friend's.
I have no idea what any of these titles have to do with anything.
That's what I'm saying. Was that sarcastic?
No, like it's all completely random.
Yeah, it's all,
and they don't have like
it's all for them
either. It's
yeah,
just
it's
like
all for them.
Like you have astrology, you have bicycles, you have smokes, you have like stuff in a different language, you have shapes, you have numbers. It's all just random titles. Like, and I have no idea. That part
it's meaningful to them.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
that's all that matters at the end of the day, right, guys?
I like it. The album cover is a modified version of a family photo taken in Banff Springs, Alberta.
That is a beautiful.
Banff is a national park in the Rockies up there, so
that makes sense.
I don't know whose family though. Is it their family?
I would hope so.
But the vinyl artwork featured the band's name in Braille.
Like it wasn't actually typed out. It was just Braille.
No, it just featured the band's name.
Oh, also in Braille.
In Braille, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. The album is this is what a critic had to say about it. The album is an artifact in its own lifetime, a present-day relic that recalls an innocent time in more ways than one.
What?
I don't know. That just sounds poetic.
I don't know if I get that. If I got that nostalgic feel at all from this. Maybe
I did a lot
because they're Gen X.
After I read about it.
Oh, maybe it hits better for Gen Xers, like people who were alive in the 90s or like rocking and rolling in the 90s. Yeah. You're like a fetus in the 90s, and I was literally in my mom's womb.
So, that's all I got.
All right, track 1 is Wildlife Analysis. I don't know what to say. It's a short, pretty empty, synthy electronic track. Basically just ambient droning with some like spacey beeps and boops.
Yeah, I said it's an interesting nostalgic feeling opening up the album, but not
nostalgic
much to go on.
Who? To what?
It just sounds nostalgic.
How? If you don't have a nostalgic attachment to it.
I don't know. It definitely sounds like an old era or something.
It does?
I mean, I get it more. It
doesn't sound 90s. That's fair. I'd say that.
I get the nostalgic feeling after I research the album, but I totally get it when people say it feels nostalgic. Like it, not necessarily recalling any of your memories or anything, but it just feels.
It feels more.
It feels like the kind of music that would be playing when you are feeling nostalgic.
It seems like the type of music that would have been playing when like Neil Armstrong landed on the moon or something.
I don't know if I see that as much, but maybe because I just read the things and now I'm biased.
Spacey.
I agree.
Has like the sound of synth that they use for the beeps sounds like a control board in like a spaceship or something.
I agree. I think it sounds spacey, but I definitely get the nostalgic.
Oh, you've been to space? Pound it. I didn't know that.
Only a couple times.
Huh. Dope. Love that.
I had to walk one time. That was bullshit. Yeah, I definitely, when I'm feeling nostalgic, I feel like that's the music that would be playing. Just some ambient, like, kind of darker.
Nostalgic music for me is Sum 41.
Well, I'm not talking about music that makes you feel nostalgic. I'm talking about music that when you are feeling nostalgic would be playing to accompany that feeling. Like, it feels nostalgic. It's not like making you nostalgic.
I don't know what that means. I don't understand. My logic brain just doesn't comprehend emotions.
All right. Whatever. Next song.
No, but I agree. I feel nostalgic. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, are you going to be kidding me? All right, next song. An Eagle in Your Mind.
An Eagle in Your Mind. This song transitions straight from the previous song. Like kind of just the last song fades out into this song. And then this is, I feel like, more representative of the album's actual feel. With kind of an ambient trip hop sound and a glitchy offbeat kick drum with some odd sample choices, including a jarring robot voice that happens just once in the song. It's like, I love you. Just like mixed loud and in your face, and then it just goes right back into being ambient. Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be much to say about these songs because they are pretty intentionally empty. It's kind of more so, I feel like it's more background music to just kind of set a
Well,
tone.
ambient is one of the
it's definitely
genres.
ambient.
So, I said this song starts to bring in old drum machine sounds. Like that drum machine is definitely in like an older sound engine,
Like
at least
what,
to
like
me.
70s, 80s?
Like a V6. I'm just gonna, like just the circuitry that makes the
Like from
generates
what
the
era, though? That's
sound.
what I'm wondering. Is it like something that would have existed in the 60s, 70s, 80s?
80s, I would say.
So 10 years old. That's not that old.
Yeah, but it feels dusty. Feels dusty and dug up.
Okay. I see.
So it just feels like old drum machine sounds.
Okay, yeah.
The song has a change up at the end that is smoothing.
Smoothing.
Smooth braining.
What is it smoothing out?
I don't know. I think I meant to write soothing.
Probably, yeah.
The white noise for the snare drum is kind of cool. They like turn white noise into a snare that sounds kind of interesting, but the song is very slow, dramatic, and quite relaxing. I will say.
It's relaxing. Yeah, 100%.
The Color of Fire.
This song is the worst song on the album. The vibes are rancid on this song. It is so unnerving and unsettling. Let me just read my notes. This song freaks me out anytime I hear it. Like, I don't.
I like it. It's like Revolution 9 in a way.
Ugh, it's so much creepier. I said it's a horrifically creepy ambient song with the children. It's like a child, like disembodied, super echoed voice. Yeah, going, I love you. And there's like these, like, let me just continue reading my notes. I can't help but go off. It's like these got like this childlike bells, like dinging. That's like, adds kind of like a creepy feel. Just like how in horror movies they'll have like wind up toys, that creepy, freaky, dark. And it has like a dark ambience to it too. So underneath those sounds, it's like got like a drone that's kind of deep and like bassy and freaky. Horrible vibes. The song isn't bad, but I do not like listening to it at all. It sounds like unintentionally like demonic. Like I was making like art on Mid-Journey, and the second that song came on, like the art suddenly looked like creepier. Like something like went wrong. Like it was just like freaky vibes. Like if this song played, like, oh, imagine being like home alone and this song just starts playing. That'd be like the worst vibe, dude.
I've been there.
Horrifying.
I've been home alone before. That shit sucks.
The only thing that could play that would be more horrifying would be this next album. I'm just kidding.
The song is intentionally horrifying because it's a reference to their friend's psychedelic experience.
Ew, God. This is why I don't do drugs. I never want to experience that in my life.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
You agree? It's freaky as crap?
The psychedelic experience or the song?
The song.
No, I think the song is intellectual in that way. Like it's taking notes musically of like a psychedelic experience. So I think it's like a documentation, really.
Okay.
So I don't get creeped out by it. I just get like I'm reading like a book or some shit. But it's quite relaxing to me.
What?
I can't really stand the children's vocal sample.
They're creepy.
But I get it's supposed to be a little unsettling, yeah.
It is. 100%.
But I mean, Revolution 9 to me is pretty relaxing. I like that song, and this song gives me similar vibes. So
did you say you are relaxed by Revolution 9?
Yeah.
Number 9?
It's like
Number 9?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
It's already what's going on in my head, so
This track right here, man.
Telephasic Workshop.
Telephastic Workshop. Another ambient track. Less trip hop vibes. Down tempo is a stupid name for a genre. What could that possibly even mean? Everything ever that's slow?
I don't know. I definitely feel like it's more of a slower album.
Yeah.
Tempo might be a good way to
So is
describe
Beach
that.
House.
They weren't classified as down tempo.
Heck no.
I mean, tempo is generally not like rhythmic though, or it's more rhythmic than melodic. Whereas Beach House is like slow melodically, where tempo refers generally to like rhythm. And so this I could see as being down tempo, whereas Beach House I could just see as being like more melancholic in terms of like melody.
You taught me something new. You learn something new every day, folks. That's why you watch. That's why you watch, even though you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Go listen to the album. How many times I gotta say it? You got anything on this song?
Yeah, I do. It's more electronic than trip hop. Almost feels like a less experimental Aphex Twins, at least from what I've heard. I'm not that versed in Aphex Twins, so don't kill me. But it just seems like a kind of less experimental version of like the more chaotic feel of a lot of Aphex Twins that I've heard. It's pretty much just a loop of some choppy electronic sounds over a mildly changing ambient droning. As the song goes on, cut up voices start interjecting themselves into the beat. And a deep voice, and there's also like a deep voice of someone's like "Boards of Canada" or something.
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, it happens. Interesting track, but not something I'd throw on.
I think this is one of the worst tracks on the album. I think the song is just annoying with the kick. It's all glitchy in like a repetitive way. It makes the song not really all that glitchy. Glitchy, but done repetitively, it makes it not as glitchy. But like the kick is like off time a little.
But every single time.
Yeah, so it's just like, what the fuck is happening? It just kind of gives me a headache, and I think that the kick is just
a
really
headache.
annoying.
That's a bit dramatic. This album gives you a headache.
This song does. Just because the kick. If I'm listening to that in headphones and it's like,
I guess your headphones are super bassy. Yeah,
it's like somebody banging on a door. I don't get the appeal of this song. So. Triangles and Rhombuses.
Triangles and Rhombuses is another short 1-minute transitional track. There's a lot of these throughout the album. It starts off with a choppy metallic beat over some spacey beeps and boops.
Beeps and boops is a big thing on this album.
Yeah, when I mean, there's like a specific sound to beeps and boops.
Boop, beep,
it's like, like I said, like a spaceship control unit. I feel like you have the beeps and the boops.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yep, pretty much that.
Yep.
It ends off though with a fade out before like this cute little woodwind part happens for like 10 seconds. It's like electronic-y sounding woodwind, but that part's nice. I like the cute little woodwind.
Triangles and Rhombuses is a nice melodic song with cheesy synth sounds, but it was done nicely. That's all I have.
Gosh, how does someone just be like, this was bad, but I like it?
Because bad things can be done good. I've been saying that. Sixtyten.
Starts off pretty slow with some spaced out beeps and vocal samples before you get smacked in the face with a deep bassy beat that kind of tapers off with like a flickering effect to it. Think of it like a reel of like a camera, how it has like a film camera, how it's like a flicker type of sound. Has like it tapers off with that type of flickering, which is interesting. Very deep and very loud in your face bass. Kind of happens over and over with occasional unintelligible vocal samples that come in and out. Song ends with a little beep solo. That sounds pretty cool. Like
a beep solo? That's
it's
so
not
sick.
a keyboard. It's just I mean, it might be done on a synth, but it sounds just like beats. It doesn't sound like playing like a synth solo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's definitely just an out of tune synth or something. But
it's a boop solo, bro.
Yeah. The album itself is pretty skeletal in terms of it's not a big wall of sound.
No.
I feel like this song is pretty representative of the album though. It's they like to incorporate noise. Like, I mean, my synth and my drum machine, they have...
What do you mean by noise? Like literal...
Like white noise.
Yeah. I agree.
My synth and my drum machine have knobs for noise. Like, you can add noise, and they do it in a weird way on this album. Like, their snares, their kicks have, like, a noise effect on them that are kind of interesting. I feel like that makes that vintage sound a little more, but...
Yeah. I can see how that could do that.
The song starts off way sick, and then the drums come in and kind of make it more unpredictable. I really can't tell if I like the vintage drumming on the album or not, but it's kind of cheesy sounding, but also unique enough to really tell that you know that this is this band when you hear this.
Yeah? You haven't heard anything like this? I don't really dabble much in electronic music, so I wouldn't
think
really
so.
know.
I mean, it's too skeletal. I mean, electronic music at the time is like, we need to dance and we need to hit you with a wall of sound, like dubstep, dude. That shit is insane.
Was dubstep popping in the 90s?
No. I think early 2000s it sort of took off, but maybe I'm wrong though. The bass is way heavy on the kick, but still vintage sounding. It's not anything like modern bass kicks.
It's still punchy though.
Yeah, it is.
You feel it in your chest a little bit.
It is.
Like in a good sound system.
And the snares are pretty isolated sounding. It sounds like they really stripped back some of the fullness of the snare, but the weird mix-up that intermittently occurs I meant to delete intermittently because it only occurs once, but the weird mix-up that occurs halfway in the song is dope, though. I like how random sounds slowly build up and sound all DJ-esque, like a live
DJ just going.
Yeah, like a twisting sound or whatever that is, record scratching type of stuff. The outro has a nice ring too.
Don't look.
We'll put it down then.
Well, okay.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Fair enough. You had a lot more to say about this song than I did. That's unusual.
It's pretty representative song of the album. I feel like you hear this and you kind of know what you're getting into, other than the ambient songs here and there.
Turquoise Hexagon Sun. Oh man, where do I start? I'll start with my notes. It's literally just a sick trip hop instrumental. It has a bassy kick pedal and atmospheric dark bells. That sound make for a cool kind of moody feel. I don't really know what else to say about this song. I feel like
it's pretty skeletal.
Yeah, but it is a cool vibe. This one is actually one of the
very
ones that
unique.
has like a cool like a moody, like cool.
They take cheesy sounds and make it unique. So
and the bells are like kind of mysterious. Like they don't sound like I don't know,
weird ring reverb to them.
It's not like a cute little cheesy bell that I hate in a stupid song like that one stupid Everlasting Light or whatever that trash song was.
They don't even have a bell in that song.
There's a bell in that song.
No, there's not.
Wherever bells are, they shouldn't be, but they're fine in this.
I know the feeling that you're talking about, though.
Yeah. I swear there's bells in that song.
I just wrote more of the same. I mean, I'm not gonna argue. I know there's no bells in that song. There's like a.
I know that's just a drum. That's not a bell.
Huh?
This is a drum. Oh, is it a harmonica?
Tambourine? There might be.
Ah, that's what I was thinking of.
That's what I'm saying. And I knew that that's what you were talking about, and I knew that the feeling you were talking about, but I didn't want to argue. But here we are arguing.
That's what we're here to do, bro. Come on.
I don't have the beer in me for that.
That's what they're watching. They want to see us a little bit.
It's not even the right album.
I want to see a bit of je ne sais quoi, bro.
All right, more of the same slow type beat with vintage styling. Nothing super interesting though.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say on a song like this, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally just the same thing looped over and over and over. You listen to it for 20 seconds and you've heard the whole song.
Yeah.
But it's a cool feel. I mean, I
It
don't
doesn't
see
need
why
to
any
be
of
5
these.
minutes.
Yeah, I don't see why any of these songs need to be more than. Maybe they should all have been like that 2-minute length because you get the whole feel. Maybe there's a couple exceptions, but generally speaking, it's not. No necesito, eh?
No.
I still like this song though. It's got a cool vibe for sure. It's got a cool vibe. Kaini, something like that. Industries. I hate being that guy that's like, I don't know how to say this word. You know, like you ever had those people who are like reading and it's like a semi-complicated word. It's like, I don't know how to say that, and then they just skip.
Yeah, literally.
Like, just try to say it.
The other day, Alec
hard.
at fucking when we were playing Cards Against Humanity or whatever.
What was the word?
The word was exclaimed. He's like, I don't know how to say that. I was like, bro. But all right.
Well, this
somebody missed class too much.
Kaini or Kaini?
I would say
could be Kaini.
I'd say no, Kaini, Kaini maybe.
Sounds cool.
I don't know.
This word I don't know how to say. Industries is another short little beepy track, but the beeps are much moodier and deeper, which makes for a really cool vibe. Then it tapers out with this kind of like slightly unnerving-y, weird, soft like background sound that it's kind of freaky, but it's only like 10 seconds long, so it's not a big deal. The rest of the song is like this cool, like I said, moody or mysterious. I don't know. There's like a mysterious nature to the sounds of the album.
Well, I think it comes from the attack on the notes. So like you hit the note and then it like builds up slowly. It's not just like bang. It's like wow, wow.
That is a good.
So it's like has to build up to the note.
Yeah, that's a good way to.
So I think it does come from that. That's like a wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So
it's got a cool feel.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little like pet and velour.
Yeah.
Pretty good feel to it.
Lila is real velour. The song is a reference to a company that was started in Canada that created massive employment opportunities for a Cree Indian settlement in the 70s.
Oh.
For how short the song is, it's nice, very nostalgic feeling and melodic.
This little ditty. I don't remember any of the song titles because they're so detached from any sort of semblance of like Bocuma. I don't know how to say that word. I said it's the same feel as the last track, but the mysterious like deep bassiness of the beeping is not there, so it's a little more flat.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
I said it was another song like the last two, except a little bit more interesting.
More interesting than the last song? I disagree. It's less interesting. You skipped through the song.
Oh, no, I'm reading the wrong one.
Oh, dude.
I'll delete that.
Okay.
The song has a similar description to the last one, but feels much more bare bone.
I agree. That I agree with. I agree. 100%. This dude read the wrong review and he said pretty much the exact opposite of what he just actually said.
That other one's for the next one.
Oh, look at this. Parker was talking about this album, Mezzanine, came out on the same day and is the same exact genres, and they're considered in the exact same light, except Mezzanine is apparently 6 points higher on Rate Your Music. So these two are like rivals, bitter rivals. Crazy, huh? Isn't that fascinating? I mean, same day, same genre, exact same reception. Something about 420 of 98, bro. Something about it. How the heck did Outkast not drop on 420, but these two albums did? Outkast should have heck dropped on 420.
No idea.
How the heck did Neutral Milk Hotel not drop on 420?
No idea.
Oh, God. I'm just kidding. Next.
Roygbiv.
Roygbiv. So Roygbiv starts off sounding just like the energy is 100% there. Just like the end of a Vsauce video.
Yeah?
100%.
Which
you know,
one?
Like
Because this is his best video.
Them, bro. All of them. He has he kind of collabs with he only uses a specific music artist. His name's Jake Chudnow. I actually used to like Jake Chudnow when I was younger. Around the era that Vsauce was popping off. So like
Vsauce is badass.
He's freaking awesome. But like when he gets like existential and everything starts like collapsing, the meaning of life starts collapsing, he'll like throw a song in. And 100% the intro of this song is that feel.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, a nice trip hop drum beat is added alongside chipmunk vocal samples. Totally reminds me of a vocal sample in the Ice Cube song Bird in the Hand. But both of them were probably pulled from Sesame Street, apparently. So, interesting.
Say, look at this. I've been cleaning out my nest, and I found an old book of my poetry.
Is that not the exact same saying that's sampled in this song? Saying. Sounds like they literally took the first word of this song and then distorted it a bit. So that was a weird correlation.
I said it's another song like the last two, except interesting again, unlike the last one. Highly interesting, actually. I think it's the best song on the album.
Highly interesting, he says. Yeah, it's one of the better songs on the album for sure.
That's what he says. Rue The Whirl.
Completely rushed through that, but whatever.
I am done with this video, bro.
It's the best song on the album. It takes the bassiest of Kaini Industries with like the nice kick, like drum, like trip hop beat of the last track, and then you have this song, which is one of the best on the album, if not the best. If only it had like female vocals, like a Portishead album would, or some other like, something else to just add an extra layer to it. It wouldn't feel like it was missing something. A lot of this, I get, it's like ambient instrumental, but this song definitely would hit really hard with like some nice vocals over top. It almost just feels like an instrumental pulled off of a full finished song. This is one of the most trip hoppy songs. I was realizing as I listened to this album, I think this style of like instrumental trip hop is the lo-fi hip hop beats to study to of the 90s. Imagine throwing this on and like doing like your freaking homework.
I don't get that.
Did you ever listen to lo-fi hip hop beats?
Not from the 90s, but
no,
yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
It's the same. Very.
I don't think so.
Why?
I don't know. The newer beats are less vintage sounding.
I said it's it's the 90s equivalent of our version. Obviously, it's not going to sound like it's from the 90s.
I feel like if you had... Wait, what?
Obviously, modern trip hop or hip hop.
No, if you had lo-fi hip hop beats in the 90s, I don't think it would have sounded like this because they already had like hip hop at the time, so you can extrapolate from there and just think.
I think trip hop is that genre.
I don't see it. It's too electronic for me. Disagree.
You're no fun when you're not drunk. You're just like, nah, I don't want to talk about it. Let's just be done.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Anyways.
I could kind of see it, but not really.
Okay, that's better, I guess. Towards the end, a jazzy bass line is added, like this deep, like stand-up bass sound, alongside a cool sounding backwards like wood instrument. It sounds like the woodwinds of like few songs ago, but it's played all backwards and it's more in the background. Sounds really cool. Really cool sound and vibe. I don't get how Aaron has literally nothing to say about this song.
I didn't say I had nothing to say.
Well, you're acting like it. Behave, young man.
I actually have a lot to say about this song.
Okay, good.
This song is good. This song has accidental birds chirping because the window was left open.
Wait,
birds,
for real?
Yeah, the birds are way sick
what?
though.
That's sick.
They decided to leave it in. This is an example of simplistic drumming done bad, I would say. And I think it's because the main hook of this track is the drumming. And when simplistic drumming is done good, there's usually an attempt to make the drumming a background characteristic of the song. I'm definitely not a fan of the chopped and looped sample either. Instantly.
That sounds sick. There's like that mysterious quality.
It kind of sounds like Floral Shot, but Floral Shot
Yes, I actually got that
a lot
too.
more better transitions
more
on the
luscious,
sample
yeah.
chopping, I feel like. But there's more whirling, atmospheric synth sounds on this
whirling
track
for
too.
sure.
Make this song a little more interesting, but they are
Thank
mixed
you.
in there pretty quiet, which is a bummer. Unfortunately, this is the longest song on the album.
It switches up like
There's
the
a
final
switch
quarter
up
is
about
completely-
3/4
yeah.
in, but it's too little too late to make a difference at that
Oh,
point.
come on.
I'm already
That
lost.
switch up is
I'm already
sick.
bored. They should have
It
shortened
didn't
it.
need
They
to
should have
be-
cut
it
the
didn't need to be that
track
long. It didn't need that. It
2
could-
minutes, 3 minutes,
Maybe,
and then
yeah,
just
if it was one half of the
that would
first
have been
sound and the
good.
second
Yeah,
half.
exactly. That
okay.
would have been way better.
Yeah, I could see that. But like I said, it's supposed to just be beats to study to, bro. You throw it on, you do some homework. You wouldn't have had a
Yeah,
laptop.
I
You
guess
would have
I
been-
could see
You
it,
would have
yeah.
been like on this like big desktop with freaking ugly white, like tan colored keyboards. Stupid 90s
And your
kids.
screen, your
Idiots.
freaking computer screen sits right here because it needs all the space in the back to let its hump hang out.
God, they were ugly looking back then. Aquarius. Aquarius. Another moody chiller of a track with a deep atmospheric looping drum beat and weird sample choices this time with a little kid laughing. Something like that. Bizarre vocal samples of kids laughing as well. Oh, I literally just said that.
You should say the same thing like 5 times.
Because it happens like 5 times. There's a little kid talking as well. And also, like, I'm assuming it's a Sesame Street character saying orange. Those are all, like, weird sample choices. But the sample part that really is dumb and annoying is when they have, like...
Oh, we both agree on that?
Yeah.
The numbers?
I don't hate it. It's just like, why is this here?
It's so dumb.
It's like a robot going 1, 2, 3, 4. But the thing is, it doesn't stop at 10. It stops at like 30.
It skips a bunch of numbers and it goes
Yeah.
up to like 40s and 60s.
Yeah, but
and
it,
shit.
from 10, from
62.
from 1 to 30 is straight.
Yeah.
21, 22,
Yeah.
23.
I
It's
don't
like, bro, I
get the
don't wanna
appeal of
hear
that,
this.
but yeah, at some point you're
don't-
like,
yeah.
shut up.
Exactly. It's overall, I'm not a fan of that part, and it's like a song I'd say weird choice, but okay. That's the feel of that song for me.
Yeah.
Orange.
Aquarius starts out with slow-moving atmospheric organ sounding, whirling
What
stuff.
sounds cool.
True. And then a funky drum beat kind of comes in and complements the sound for the remainder of the song. The song seems too slow to be alarmingly interesting and too fast to be a welcoming nostalgia. The vocal samples, I think, are also very poor taste.
Olson. Dude, I wasn't tired before we started doing this episode, but this is such like a...
It's a drag.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's so ambient in a way that's not beautiful, which is how I like my ambience, that it's just kind of
Yeah.
sleepy time music. It'd be good to sleep to.
Yeah, it would be.
Olson.
Some of the bass wasn't too punchy.
Yeah,
but-
true. Olson is another short track featuring a soft, delicate keyboard over this mildly distorted bassy beat. It's got like a crunchiness to the beat. Nice little vibra of a track, and ends with like a cute piano piece, kind of very distant. So it's just like bam, bam. It's like very distant and very far apart notes. So it's very much like a sleeper of a song. Definitely, this would be a good song to sleep to, actually.
How metaphorical are you being when you say there's a something to the beat? Did you say
Crunchy,
crunchiness to
yeah,
the beat?
like
There's
a
I don't-
distortion to the beat. It doesn't sound like a clear. The beat's not clear. It sounds like it's been through some it's been through some struggles. Like I know this beat's name, but not its story type beat.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like a clear, like cleanly produced at all. It has
I'm just
like a
saying, well, my
crunchiness to
whole
it.
thing is like a beat generally consists to me of like drum and bass. But this is literally just like a synth.
Is it a beat?
There's a beat? Give me a minute.
Is that a beat?
Well, technically, like every song has like a beat.
So that's the beat.
But the beat is normally defined like rhythmically with like a metronome and actually I feel like this might be a song without like a real beat. I mean, how can music not have a beat though? I don't know. There's no drumming, it's just like a
It's
bassy
like a drone. It's like a bassy drone that's got
drone,
a crunch
yeah.
to it.
Yeah, I like it. It's like a
Yeah. It's got a static to it.
The song is a reference to a surname of a family they know.
Cool.
Nothing really happens, just some ambient stuff happening in the song, which isn't always bad, and in the right context, it can be nice.
That is a brilliant way to put it, young man.
Thank you.
So hold on, I just had an epiphany. A huge, that's nostalgia right there, bro. Okay, hold on. Let me gather myself. So Pete Standing Alone is another slow ambient electronic track with a crunchy drum beat and super, super crunchy distorted robot vocals that add kind of a cool vibe. It's like, he thought, he joked, he humored that it was someone farting into the mic and then crunching
A little bit of flatulence.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds a cool vibe. The song then breaks into kind of a solo of sorts, of just kind of a cacophony of crunchy noises and sounds before going back to the sound of before. But I just realized, I don't know where in the song you are, but that sounds almost identical to Spore when you are building either cars or spaceships. I don't remember which one it is. Spore Car Editor. And Spore for me is the most nostalgic, important video game of my entire life by far. I've put more hours into Spore than anything probably ever combined in my waking hours, period. So yeah, this game is a big deal for me in my life. This is so nostalgic. I love it. But yeah,
now you
it's
get a
got that.
nostalgic feel.
Just from that, I was like, yo, that reminds me of Spore, bro. Spore makes me sad right now, bro.
Basically, after that tangent, another ambient beat mix. By this point in the album, I gotta say it's a little unbearable because I don't really connect with the dark nostalgia vibe. Clearly, like you do. The weird roaring sound is pretty interesting for this song,
Yeah.
but I hate that that's the only thing keeping me from falling asleep until about the halfway marker where the song introduces quite a bit more complexity in the form of random sounds.
Yep, that's what I referenced. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, Pete, you little bastard.
Smokes quantity.
Smokes quantity. That's what I was gonna say.
Nice. I can imagine that's true.
It's a more reasonably length track at only 3 minutes. It features a nice trip hop beat, warble background keys, very distant bells at some point, and a prominent distorted horn that comes in and out. It's a cool chiller of a track for sure, especially at the end when both those distant bells and the horns coalesce and they play together. That part sounds pretty cool.
The song is a nickname of a friend of theirs.
Smokes quantity? Hold on. That's like those, like, that was my nickname in high school jokes that I make all the time. How is your name Smokes Quantity?
I don't know. It's just a nickname. It's the Scottish dude.
Oh, I forgot about that. They're basically Brits.
It's got more of the same feeling, but it picks up the pace a little bit. That's really all I wrote.
Fair enough. Yep, that is literally all you wrote. Open the lights.
Open the light.
It's one of the most ambient songs, if not the most ambient song of the album, and repeats just the same pattern of soft distant beeps, atmospheric synths, and horns before breaking out into a slightly more complex section with a deeper key playing a riff. I don't know if it's a riff when it's in terms of keyboards.
Sequence, chord progression.
Sequence, yeah, I like that word. The deeper key starts playing a sequence over a washed out synths, then ends back into an ambient sound. Very relaxing song, but it is kind of boring.
I said it's another song with an ambient opener that remains relatively ambient throughout the rest of the song.
So it's an ambient opener that's also just ambient.
Yeah, well, it's weird because a lot of the songs on this album are ambient openers and then
break out into like the trip hop beat. Yeah, this didn't have any trip hop beat.
I like the song because of the gentle ambience, but I'm really running out of things to say at this point. This album should have ended like 10 minutes ago. I hate long albums.
This rule.
Didn't change the song score. I'm just saying.
Minutes, fool.
I know, and that song is a fucking beast to get through in, or that album is a beast to get through in one sitting.
Heck no, that album's sick.
No, I'm just saying, like, that takes a good chunk of time.
Yeah, that's fair.
It didn't change my score. The album really should have ended 10 minutes ago.
Well, apparently the last track that I listened to and scored and noted is a bonus track. So for me, the album doesn't end for like another 6 minutes.
Yeah, fuck that.
Now that the show is over and we have jointly exercised our constitutional rights.
All right.
One very important thought. Oh, come on. Why'd you pause? We had a thing going.
I don't know if any thought was ever important, bro. Fuck those thoughts.
Definitely not this. Nothing is important about this song's thoughts. I think it's kind of a cringe, stupid track, actually. It's literally just a high-pitched key, soft key going... Something like that.
That's literally the whole song.
Yeah. Until female vocals talking... just talking, not singing or anything, but talking about like constitutional rights, protect your constitutional rights, and if you ever go to a censorship meeting in the future, like know that that's like your freedom. And it's like, God, dude, I hear my drunk uncles talk about this garbage all the time. I don't need to hear it in a song. It's like some babble that Eric would talk about and think he's being smart. Like, bro, constitutional rights, bro, freedom of speech, bro, cancel culture. I'm over it. I don't want to hear it. It's so annoying and whiny. God, bro, just censor me, bro. It's fine. I'm not gonna go to the. If you're ever in a censorship meeting, like, God, it's so annoying.
Is that a real thing? A censorship meeting?
No, it's like this like dystopian hypothetical future that's like freaking conservatives have been whining about happening for the past 100 years and never has happened.
So shut up.
Shut up, idiot.
I
back
said
into the oven. Just kidding.
I said the outro to this album is nice, but to me it feels like they're trying to wrap up a profound experience while the album wasn't really all that profound.
Bro, they're trying to like leave on like this deep woke thought, like whoa, like
one very important thought.
Like this was literally like, nothing.
Okay.
The first time I've thought.
I don't think
this whole album.
anything was important in the past hour. But okay.
God, dude. I mean, the song sounds pleasant. It sounds even nice.
Yeah.
But the subject matter is just cringe. So I think it could. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna change my score. So for me, next. For you, you're done. Final track, bonus track on the 1998 US Matador release and 2004 Warp re-release. Happy cycling. So, I'll just first say I didn't know this was a bonus track, so I was very confused as to why one very important thought was the second to last track. I was like, that very much feels like a closer,
Yeah.
but apparently it was meant to be. But this ends the album off on a kind of a spookier note again with a deeper trip hop sound. High-pitched choir of women singing dramatically holding a note. Think like a Dark Souls boss level where you just have like this choir of women kind of like holding this high note that's kind of like unnerving and freaky. But it's mixed low enough to where it really just feels like background. There's also kind of a weird synth sound, random deep noises, and loud seagull cawing noises. Weird song, and would have been a really weird tone to end the album off on if it had ended there, but about 5 minutes into the song, it breaks into a kind of cool, pretty cool spacey keyboard solo that brings the vibes up a lot and almost makes the whole song fun, but it's a bit too off kilter in the beginning for that little ditty to compensate.
Yeah.
Yikes.
The only thing I wrote was the bonus song is just a really long.
Oh, you have heard it.
More of the same. The outro switches up a bit, but doesn't enhance the album experience.
So you have
anyway.
heard that song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I always listen to the bonus stuff, and then I just make
never
a note
do, bro.
of
I
it.
haven't even heard the bonus stuff on albums I really like.
Bummer.
Whack. You ready for scorefers? All right, I'll go first because I feel like my score will be less controversial.
Okay.
Mildly so. So, my score with happy cycling, 31.
All right.
And let me do the math real quick. The score without happy cycling, 35. So the album without the bonus track is a 35.
5.
And this is a 31 with the bonus track, which is going to be my official score. Saying it now, folks. Well, I mean, what is there to say? I mean, most of the songs are kind of zeros, and there's occasionally like one that's a little more interesting, but I don't mind listening to the album, especially in contrast to the next episode. It was kind of like, it's a viber. It's a little bit of a viber. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not something I just couldn't imagine being like, man, I really want to just throw on triangles and rhombuses. It's like,
I would be down for that song.
It's playing. It's just like, oh, it's fine. It's all like kind of a vibe. Maybe I'll do some homework to this when I go do summer semester in like 6 months. But
yeah,
maybe I will, but probably not.
So you got 1 -1, Color of
2
Fire.
negative ones. The freaky song.
Where's the other
and
one?
then the one very
important.
And it's funnily enough, the album score was 35 before I changed that to a -1 from a 0, and now it's just back to being a 35 without the bonus track. So
okay.
I like this as much as Yellow Submarine. The album sucks. It's the worst Beatles album, so good job.
So this album sucks.
No, I don't feel like this sucks as much because this album has some. It's just kind of like it's the Beatles. It should not be that disappointing. But this is kind of just like a chiller, kind of boring.
Yeah. You like Sixtyten?
Yeah, there's like a good string of
you
songs
like
right here.
the stuff.
This string.
You like some of the longer songs, and I don't.
I like long. Roygbiv, Rue The Whirl, those are good too.
Yeah, those are short. Well, not Rue The Whirl, but
Rue The
Roygbiv.
Whirl was probably my favorite. And
Olson's
6010 was sick too. There's some good songs on here that I'll definitely listen to on my own time, but not most of them. It's fine. Ready for the -5?
How long ago did you see that?
I never saw it. Am I right again? Dude, I am on such a good roll, dude.
That's why I stopped laughing when you said that. I was like, I think that's actually exactly right. -5.
I know you better than you know you. Because you'll be like, oh, I forgot my score.
Yeah, but I know that you know me better than I know me.
And I knew that you knew that.
I know that you're happy about that, but I don't know.
I know your name and your story, bro.
Yeah, -5. Pretty much
about it.
zeros across the board, except for An Eagle in Your Mind. I like that song. I like Triangles and Rhombuses. I like Kaini Industries. I like Roygbiv. I disliked Rue The Whirl and Aquarius.
Aquarius.
I don't like the longer songs, man. I don't like the longer.
Long.
No, it's just. Yeah, it's just that. Open the Light.
We're not gonna
the
have
second
a fun time
last
doing
one.
Prague then. The songs get like 20s.
No, that's different because they're not the same thing for the whole 6 minutes.
That's very
Open the
good.
Light. I liked the second last song. Super ambient. I like that. But Telephasic Workshop was my least favorite song. That was a -1, right after The Color Fire. But
I don't even remember what any of these. I don't remember what any of these songs sound like. When I hear them, I'm like, oh yeah, that song. But
I kind of remember.
I can't put a name to the songs at this point.
Yeah.
The song.
There's
the
so
names
many.
Are just so detached to, and there's so many. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all so similar in vibe. There's like the ambient ones, there's the trip hop ones, and there's like the occasional oddball thrown in there, like the freaky one that I really, really don't like. Makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Imagine your lights start flickering and that song plays, bro. You gotta start praying.
I like that. All right. So I guess should we wrap her up with final thoughts?
And Rec?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll start with this album reminds me of Eric Copeland from Black Dice. He also has solo stuff, but his solo stuff sounds more like this than Black Dice. But Eric Copeland does it way better because he changed up his drumming throughout his albums. Ha 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 ha.
Why is that funny?
Because I just wrote that it was. I don't know. I always just write ha 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 after things. I can definitely see the appeal to this album as being some kind of calming journey.
Yeah, Viber.
I respect it. It seems that all the good songs are only a few minutes of tape space. Like all the bridge songs are actually fairly enjoyable, but the long highlights of the album aren't very captivating, save for An Eagle in Your Mind, second song.
Save for Rue The Whirl?
No, that was a -1.
You're stupid.
Why did you sound like a high school girl when you said that, bro?
My inner Cheeto girl came out.
I can't help but group artists like this, very independent sounding and making music for themselves type of thing. I can't help but grouping those artists together, even though they're making different genres. Something about this style of music makes me think of like Kareem Riggins or Tim Presley's WX Project. I guess they all sound similar in a way, but they are all kind of instrumental beat making stuff, but they all have a similar approach to why they're making music, and I feel like I respect it. You know, they're all just doing it on their own.
You always call everything like Nickelback.
This is like Nickelback.
You're always like, maybe it's like Nickelback. Nirvana's like Nickelback. I thought you'd be like, yeah, I always kind of see this stuff as like Nickelback. I'm like, bro, what do you mean?
No, it's like it's got like a certain long album, you know, instrumental just ditties that that just groups me into like this guy's like Kareem Riggins and shit.
I've never heard of either of those.
Both those albums are good. I have the WX one in my 4 that I want to do coming up. So
dope.
Yeah, that's all I got. Other than that, do I recommend it? Why is anybody recommending this? Why is this such a big album?
I don't know.
I kind of respect it, but I don't get it either.
Or it's not even fun. It's like it just exists.
I will say like I do think it's the same vibe as lo-fi hip hop beats, but I don't think it sounds like hip hop beats. Lo-fi hip hop
it's a 90s equivalent, bro.
Maybe
lo-fi hip hop.
It definitely gets the same vibes.
Yeah, if you like listening to lo-fi hip hop beats, then this is kind of a curveball wrench in that type
Nobody
of sound.
actually likes doing that though. Unless they're like doing something else.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a
Nobody
problem.
sits down and listens.
That's
to
why my score is so
beats.
low, because like I'm never.
Yeah, nobody's ever doing
throw
that.
this on, right? Like, do people throw this on?
I've never heard it getting thrown on. So
neither. I'm gonna add my.
So final recommendation. I'm gonna say no.
Me neither. It's boring. It's not boring in necessarily a bad way. Like it's intentionally kind of chill and boring, but it's not beautiful enough. It's because like Bark Psychosis is slow and ambient, but in a way that is just stunningly gorgeous and dark and
Yeah, it's
amazing
different.
and luscious.
I see it.
This doesn't have the lusciousness.
Yep.
It's just kind of dark and cold and Canadian. It's another
Yeah.
L for Canada. It's not an L. Okay, it's not
It's
an L. on the
Scottish.
album, but bro, it's Boards of Canada, not Boards of Edinburgh. However they pronounce it.
Whatever. My lifestyle determines my death style, bro.